Hello, guys, and welcome to the Anime Duo. I am Bear. I am your host alongside Ken. Ken, introduce yourself.
What's good, y'all? Name's Ken. I'm on here with my boy Brown, doing our first podcast together, and this is going to be episode one. We'll be introducing ourselves, and we'll also be talking about some related topics that have been coming up recently.
So, yes, today we're going to be talking about just a little bit about ourselves, favorite anime, some of our favorite games, some childhood memories. We're going to be talking about the new One Punch Man episode. It has been garnering a lot of attention online, so we thought maybe you want to talk about it. And last but not least, Xbox. What is going on with Xbox?
Oof, man, those price increases, man, I'm telling you.
And much more. So, I'm going to start off. I'm going to introduce myself. I am Bear. I am the co-founder of this beautiful piece of media that we'll be presenting with you. Um, I love anime. I love to game. I really love swimming. I love to just really just interact with people and understand how they work. And so this has been a passion project of mine and his since we were in high school. So hopefully everyone else here enjoys it with us.
Lovely, lovely. The name's Ken. Same thing. I really love anime. Play video games a lot. I know it hurts to say, but I still play Destiny 2. I know they're a bit of a landslide right now, but I have hope they can turn things around. Um, if I'm not gaming, I'm just either working out, going on runs, or just fixing some things around my house, or just doing hard labor in general. I love to burn a good sweat for me. And if I have to say, for the top three, because everyone always asks, "What's your top three?" Top three for me would have to be Evangelion. I'm a huge fan of
Ooh.
it. Dragon Ball, obviously. I really look up to Vegeta. I really like his passion for his pride. And I like Black Clover. People say that Asta could be a very annoying character, but I prefer Asta moreover than actually, in my opinion.
Hmm. Okay, okay. My top three anime. Number three, I'd have to go with The Race. Even though it's 12 episodes long, I had never felt like more connected than like making sure the little girl's well-being was okay. I was like very invested in that. I had a lot of personal things too. Like I hadn't actually felt for something like that since some parts of One Piece, which we'll be talking about in a minute. My number two is Hunter x Hunter. Now, there are some slower bits to Hunter x Hunter, I feel like, but also I've watched One Piece, so pacing's obviously not a problem. But watching York New City's arc, I just really was like, this is really cool. This is what anime should be. Also, I'm not gonna spoil, but the kites, if you watch Hunter x Hunter, you know that that's sad, but it's really I really like the hidden message behind it, like showing how he was just a young kid who just like was protected by everybody and then was slowly just, brought into being an adult the hardest way possible. My favorite anime, no surprise here, One Piece. It has anything you want, anytime you want. And I honestly don't think it's too long. Like, I could sit down and watch media for hours and hours, and you can scroll for hours and hours. Just not being able to watch One Piece is not an excuse. I think it's amazing. Oh, hang on. I got a question. What was your first anime?
My first anime, well, back then when anime just started popping off, um, my dad just cut off the cable, and the first two popular subscriptions at the moment were Netflix and Sling. Sling being for TV shows like cable, and Netflix just being Netflix as it was before back then. And one day as a kid, I think I was curious, and I really wanted to like watch some cartoons, and I came across Sword Art Online. Now, I had no idea what anime was at the moment, so I decided to try it out and I really liked it. I watched Sword Art Online first, and then I watched Sword Art Online 2. I do know now that there's 3, 4, and 5, but I haven't watched those yet, and I'm not sure if I'm going to, only because I've heard mixed reviews about them. But to sum it all over, my first anime was Sword Art Online. What was yours, Bear?
So it's very generic, but I would say Pokemon. My parents actually collected the cards, or my mom collected them when she was a kid with my uncle. And so they had actually passed down those cards to me. So I have like a base set Charizard. I have a lot of the Team Rocket ones actually.
Ooh.
So I was like playing the card game and I was like, okay, well, I have to watch the show. Surprisingly, the video games came last, which is weird because most people's first interaction are the video games. But the show I started watching, XYZ, I think is one of the greatest pieces of just media in general
It is
because
my
like
favorite too. It's
it,
the one I grew up with. I think they streamed it on Cartoon Network, if I'm not mistaken.
so how I watched it is my grandma had Direct TV,
Ooh.
and so they pretty much it works like it streams or it's on cable, and it downloads to a playlist if you follow the show. And I would just watch all X, Y, and XYZ, and I had most of the episodes down. And so I was like, I like this. And then Netflix came out, and she's like, well, okay, I'm gonna get Netflix. Pokemon Indigo League was there, so I was like, let's go, let's watch that. And then I was like, all right, well, this is cool, and it shows more shows like that. And I started getting to One Piece and Naruto.
Yeah, Indigo League. That's the first one, right?
Hmm.
I still believe that is on Netflix to this day still.
Yep, it is. And also, I think they have more. I think they like own the streaming rights to it.
Really?
Yeah,
I know Netflix rights can get a bit confusing sometimes.
especially with One Piece. I gotta stop talking about One Piece, but it's too good.
Yeah, it gets good on episode 900, I've heard.
No, 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 no. You need like the first. Also, it depends on if you like old school or not. But actually, this kind of segues into what we're going to be talking about next is what anime are we watching right now?
Uh, well, right now, funny that we just dropped it, but currently watching One Piece right now. I finally stuck up and said, you know what? Enough with the wait. I'm gonna start watching it right now, and so I don't miss anything. I should have started watching them when they took that 6 month break a couple years back, but I think during that time I was catching up with Super, and now I'm finally here on this pirate ship, ready to set sail. Um, hmm.
We're also since he said he's going to watch One Piece, I said, you know what? I'll watch your favorite, which is Neon Genesis Evangelion. I'm actually really liking it. So recently, in the past couple months, I'd watched Akira and I'd watched what's it called?
Akira is very good.
What's that one?
What
Code
do you,
Geass. And it's like a perfect mix between the two, between mechs and like
yeah,
old
Death
school
Note.
Japanese style. I wouldn't say Death Note. I mean, I think it definitely has the early 2000s vibe of like how anime looked, but like
Yeah.
besides that, it's a perfect mesh between the two characters. But yeah, we started with what movie did we start off
We
with?
we started off with the rebuild 1.0.
Okay.
There's three more movies after that. There's 2.0, 3.0, and then the last movie 3.0 plus 1.0. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm a huge fan of the series.
So I was like, you know what? It's only fair. I started it. I'm enjoying it. I mean, I never hated it. I just never really watched it. So something also that we're going to be talking about towards the end is One Punch Man. We started that. We will be talking about that later, but we are going to
Yes.
segue into a different one is gaming. Everyone's favorite.
What type of person watches anime and doesn't game? Like, come on now.
Uh, I wouldn't say a lot. I would say there's two camps because
Really?
like I would say I'd watch more anime than I game, and I'd say you game more than you watch anime.
That is true.
But speaking of gaming, what's your top three favorite games?
Top three? Um, hmm. My top three are more like you just had to be there type games. My first one would be Transformers Fall of Cybertron in the Xbox 360. If you know, you know. That game is a beautiful masterpiece before Activision completely destroyed the series when they released the Dark Spark, unfortunately. That game was so good and they just had to ruin it, unfortunately. My second one would have to be Wii Sports. Come on now. Such a lovely classic game on the Wii.
Hmm.
Man, those memories. I still have my Wii, by the way. If I'd
You still
like
have
to,
your original one, like
I
the one
sure
you grew up
do.
with?
And I even have some GameCube games that I can put in the
Ooh.
Wii. And I have like four controllers for it, which I still have my GameCube, but I believe the disc reading just doesn't work. But I still keep it for nostalgia reasons. But Sorry for drifting off. My my third favorite game is what I spoke of earlier would be Destiny 2. I know that game isn't doing so well right now, but I started playing that game when I was like 13 years old. I played one and then I played two, I think a year later. I played through the Red War, Curse of Osiris, Warmind, Forsaken, Beyond Light, Lightfall. I played through everything for it. It's definitely not in a very good state right now. People don't like certain mechanics of it anymore. And I know they just did that collab with Star Wars. Renegades is the new one coming out, and a lot of creators are quitting, unfortunately. But I did see that the creators do see their mistakes and they're doing their best to try to fix everything. But other than that, I just hope the game goes well. But that is my third. What are your thirds? Top three, one,
Okay,
two, three.
number three is Smash Bros. Melee. There is nothing better than inviting your friends over. All right, well, an honorable mention is also Mario Kart on the Wii, but also we'll be talking about that later.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
There's
whoa, whoa.
nothing be
Quick
there's
question.
nothing
Did you
better.
use
The
a
wheel,
GameCube? Yeah,
yeah,
did you use the wheel? Ah,
uh-huh,
man of
yeah.
taste, man of taste.
Of course, every kid had it, but we were all like, there's nothing better than inviting your friends over after school and like playing Smash Bros. And you always had that one friend who was like using the Wii remote to act like he was actually fighting, but he was actually pushing the buttons like he acts like she's actually fighting. It is the funniest thing ever. But I just enjoy actually the story for all of them too. Like it kind of tells a story, and I really like that.
It does
Also,
have
just
really good
figuring out
story.
everyone's little meta. Like everyone has their own little meta, like what they're good against and what they're not good against. And it's really fun. And I think it's very fair for anyone who can pick it up and play. My number two is gonna get me clowned on, but you know me, you know how I love the lore of this, you know how good I am at it. Five Nights at Freddy's. One, just because I think it's very simple in its mechanic and I can come back and play it and enjoy it every single time. I almost didn't put this in because there was a few others I wanted to, but maybe someone can relate or maybe not. My number one favorite game is probably a lot of people's favorite game. I seem like a pretty normie going through this list, but like the more you go out through my list of like favorite games that I've played, I don't sound as normie, but Minecraft is the best game of all time. Like how
Yes.
many memories I have waking up early for school and watching YouTube of Dainty DM
Stampy
or
Longnose,
Stampy Longnose.
the goat.
I literally think Minecraft Hunger Games is the greatest like little piece of Minecraft media
It really
because
is.
OGs remember the video where Stampy and Dainty M actually fought in Minecraft Hunger Games. You might not remember it, but this was a huge video back in the day because they had actually 1v1.
What was that one game mode? With the shovels and the floor was like snow and there was like
Spleef.
Spleef. Spleef is really good. I remember playing Spleef on the PS3 against people online, and man, those memories will forever last.
And if you're like a really weird tryhard, you really liked Bed Wars. Like those were for like that was like the
I
Technoblade
was
era.
never good at Bed Wars. I
No,
think I
me
only
neither.
played Bed Wars once and I got like destroyed. Those
It's a
people
fun
have
game.
mad skill in Bed Wars.
But like even now, like the Minecraft movie, as weirdly popular as it was, my little brother still can't stop talking about it. And I don't know. I thought the movie was good. It was interesting. I didn't fall asleep in it, or I didn't have to worry about any weird propaganda that they're trying to spread. It was just a genuinely just fun movie.
The Minecraft movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I'm just glad I wasn't in one of the theaters that people were throwing popcorn and shooting guns and fireworks in the air. Like
That
when I
didn't
w- what
happen. Yeah.
when I went in the movie theater, all I got was like a lot of people were just clapping at like the meme clips. But the next day I looked on the internet, people were bringing in real life chickens. They were shooting up fireworks. One of the theaters even caught on fire, I believe. And I was like, man, it's just a Minecraft movie.
Yeah, but it's just such good like even going back to like YouTube videos like what is that Monster School or
Yeah,
Villager
Monster
News.
School, Villager News, yeah.
Just it's so good. Like there's no one ever who's like genuinely disliked it. I don't think. Like I don't know anyone who's like, oh, I just really hate the game. Now you will
Yeah.
have those people who are like, oh, Terraria is better, which I mean, I could like it's a cool game, but like I just think this is better.
Bro, Terraria, please just release the update, bro. Please. My gosh. I understand you're adding so much to the update, but you gotta add crossover, man. I'm trying to
Mm.
play, bro. Been waiting for that for years.
That's low-key why I don't think I enjoyed it as much. I couldn't play with all my friends.
Well, I like Terraria because of like what to achieve. Like there's tons of ores, there's tons of bosses, there's tons of armor and secrets. There's different builds. You can be a gunner, a summoner, a wizard, all type of that junk.
That might need when you have me to put that on our list of games we should play soon.
Yeah, we could play like because there's Calamity. Calamity is a huge, huge mod. It's one of the most popular mods on Terraria right now. And like I could agree with you with Minecraft too, because there's CurseForge. Like if you play
Mm.
Java, you can get all those mods and you can completely change the way of how you play Minecraft. Like you can go in space, you can go in different planets, you can go in bosses. And like Bedrock too, I don't have a problem with Bedrock because Bedrock is cross-platform and I really love that. The only issue I kind of have is the mods, like in the marketplace because you have to pay for those with mine coins. Now, I
Oh,
complain about this, but yet I've probably spent like $200 on mods. I have like 80 mods.
God. Do we want to
And
bring up how much you spent on Destiny 2, or are we just gonna
um
save that for a rainy day?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking
especially
about.
when you play PvE. Anyway, that's
Yeah,
that's besides the point.
anyways.
That's besides the point. So like kind of like the format before, what was your first console and game?
First console and game.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Hmm,
that doesn't mean that they're going to be the same thing. Like you
true.
could have your first console that you got for Christmas, but you went over to a friend's house and played your first video game.
True. I would have to say my first game, not game, my first console would be the Xbox 360. Man, I still remember that morning waking up and opening that present Christmas Day and getting that Xbox 360. My mind was blown away because at first I didn't know what it was. I was like, "What is this?" But when the Xbox 360 did release, I believe they came out with that Connect camera where it would track your motion and you could play specific games on it. Now, this is obviously discontinued now because it lost its popularity. But when I got the Xbox 360, I had the Kinect. I couldn't tell you where the Kinect is right now, unfortunately, but I do have my Xbox 360 still. And
Mm.
I would say my favorite game because with the Kinect, it came with Kinect Sports Ultimate Edition. That was my first video game I've ever played.
Hmm.
That was so much fun jumping around and everything. It was kind of like Just Dance, but it was more like tracking movement with your hands and everything. And and even without playing a Kinect game with the motion, you can even use like your camera to like swipe, I think, through your menus and whatnot. If I
Hmm.
remember correctly. It's been a long time, so I'm not really sure. But yeah, that my first console was Xbox 360 and my first game was a Kinect game with the camera. What was yours actually?
Before I say that, I think we have to agree a canon event in life is getting an Xbox 360 for Christmas. I
Yes.
remember getting mine, and my mom gave me two games, Disney Infinity and Minecraft.
I
And I remember
actually
putting in
have
Minecraft.
Disney Affinity actually.
I
I
do
think
too.
I only played it for 5 minutes and as a kid I was like, nah, this ain't for me. And I went back to Transformers. But I wasn't really sure. How good was the game actually? Was it like a really big thing?
It was a big thing. It was used to pretty much compete with Skylanders.
Oh. Oh, Infinity. That's with all like the Disney characters, right?
Hmm.
Oh yeah, that was the number one commercial I always saw on TV. And I thought it was the coolest thing in the world, but I never got it.
I had a Skylanders birthday party.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had a Skylanders birthday party at one point. I remember playing Giants, Swap Force, Imagination. It was super fun. The thing I didn't like about it though is that certain levels you needed to buy certain characters for, like you had to have
Uh,
a certain type, and it made my progression in the game so long because I
you
didn't
didn't
have
have
an
the character.
allowance. So I just had to wait for my grandparents to do something to get it for me, and I hated asking for stuff. So I would
Yeah.
go weeks without playing the game, and then
It's
I'd be
always
like,
that guilt in your heart
finally
just
got the
asking for something.
I finally got the next character, so I can move on to the next part. But I really like Swap Force because then you'd have friends who had characters and you could just like swap parts for it so you can have certain abilities. I really like that. But anyway, back to the actual question. My first console was the Wii. So my grandma had the Wii and she had Just Dance and Lego Batman and Mario Kart.
Ooh,
And
Lego Batman.
Lego Batman was good. The first one, it's okay. I remember playing Clayface and at the beginning, and that was super fun. Mario Kart on the Wii is like great, especially with the wheel. It's like super fun. You're yelling at the screen for hours with your
Oh yeah,
family.
no doubt about it.
And Just Dance, I used to play with my aunt all the time because she was like a cheerleader, and so she like enjoyed it. And I was like, look, if you think you're gonna hog the Wii, I'll play Just Dance and I'll beat you, and then I'm gonna make you rage quit so I can have the Wii to myself.
Rage Quit on
My
Just Dance
first
has to be crazy.
game I would say is the Mario Kart Wii because actually I had just gotten home from school because I was normally like a Lego and Pokemon kid until a certain point, so like I didn't really play video games. I just watched YouTube on it. And then my aunt was actually there playing Mario Kart with her friends, and I was like, "What are you playing?" She's like, "Mario Kart. You've never played before?" And I was like, "No." And I remember going backwards like the entire map, and it was so fun. I wish I could go back.
Yeah, those were the nostalgic times.
Yeah, I will never get it back. And I honestly don't think other kids will ever enjoy it with these game prices and console
Dude,
prices so high.
$70? I'm sorry, bro, but I'm not made out of money.
And that's like, how am I supposed to like want to have kids one day? Like, how are they gonna have fun opening the PS8 and like
The PS8.
it's just not the same. Or really crappy Nintendo games like the new Pokemon game. Like, how are they gonna enjoy it? I'm honestly gonna get them an old console. I don't care if their friends make fun of them.
Yeah,
You're gonna enjoy it.
I'm probably gonna give my kids an old console.
I'm gonna like get it refurbished and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But anyway,
refurbished.
what games are we playing right now?
The games we're playing right now, Minecraft mods, obviously. Trying
Hmm.
to spook ourselves with some horror mods, which in the community there's been a bit of controversy and not controversy, but because there's a way to over exaggerate a horror game and there's a way to actually play it and really realize how much a piece of crap that mod could be. I don't have any mods in mind, but there are some pretty good mods out there. Specifically like the ones that no one really talks about, like some hidden gems
Hmm.
and just trying to spook us up for Halloween because Halloween is in, I believe, 12 days.
Dang.
Yeah, 12 days already. And it lands on a Friday too. So when you look at that, really get the hype on. Um, I know it's silly, but Roblox, just
Yeah, we've been playing
because,
Roblox and enjoying the crap out of it.
yeah, there's just a lot of things to do on there. If you minus the predators
Yeah,
and
it's kind of weird on there, I'm not gonna lie.
yeah,
Also the FNAF marathon. I play FNAF World and I'm also on FNAF, just pretty much doing FNAF 1.
yeah, this guy's
He's
a
interested
lore
in the lore,
expert. This
so
guy's trying to
I
teach me.
had to teach him. But let's hop into our next thing. One Punch Man. So we came into the yeah, I saw that. The One Punch Man episode coming into it. So they had waited 5 years for this season to come out. They had announced that they had a new director. This director previously made, how do I say this for PG?
How how would you
Inappropriate
say this?
anime. Inappropriate anime.
Starts with an H.
Booty anime. And so people weren't happy about that.
People saw the trailers and they were like, "Bro, is this just
Oh.
gonna be, Blue Lock season 2 over?" People were starting to get worried.
And so we were
And
like, we have to see it.
yeah.
And so we did. Um, and I'm gonna say this wholeheartedly. I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, it's
Now,
not that bad.
now to be fair, people have been waiting a long time for it. This was my Fire Force season 3, which was okay. So I'm gonna get the same vibe as that.
I
Um,
saw a clip all over Instagram was when Gara was in that dark hallway when he was walking. Everyone was clowning on that clip, the way he was walking. But he was injured at the moment. Maybe that's just a lazy way of saying, the animation is okay. But I didn't really see any issues with it. The animation, people were also saying the pacing was a bit off, but you got to realize it's just the first episode. It's not like we're not supposed to get from point A to point B in just one episode. There's going to be some, gas station stops and whatnot. But I think it was an all right episode. I'm pretty sure episode 2 came out not long ago. I could be
yeah,
wrong,
we'll
but
definitely be updating you guys on that for sure.
yes, no doubt about it.
But yeah, from reading, I read the manga. I've read the manga, and I think
I,
it's pacing fine. I don't think there's anything to worry about. If you
I've seen those
enjoy like
pictures in manga in the One
yeah,
Punch
there it's
Man.
crazy. In the
Beautiful
upcoming
images.
arc, it's actually going to be pretty good because not to like spoil, but someone's kid gets kidnapped by the League of Monsters, and they're pretty much going out to find it. And there's kind of like they're worrying, like, are they going to be able to beat this? Also, you have like the little, well, actually, the main part is Garo versus One Punch Man, which will be coming
Yeah,
on. So
Saitama. That
there's
might
not
break
much.
the internet.
It's literally, yeah, if they do the animation right, it will. And honestly, like, I'm gonna keep watching it. I don't care what y'all say.
Yeah, I think the animation was all right. I feel like people overhated it a little bit. I think you just got to let the animator cook. I know what type of anime he used to make, but
I trusted him.
he even tweeted saying like, he was like, "Hey, if it doesn't up to standard, I'm sorry. I'm doing my best." So I think just give him a chance. I'd say give it like 5 or 6 episodes, and if it gets worse, be my guest and just say what you want about it.
Yeah.
But I'd say just give it a wait,
Yep.
and
And
we'll
that's
just
what
see
I'm
how it
saying.
goes.
Now for our last one, we are running up on time, but we will be able to skim through this. Xbox, what is going
Oof.
on? Let's start
Raising
off with your
raising prices, increasing the Game Pass by 50%. Man, I
Xbox
guess we're
Game
all just made
Pass
out of money, are we not?
is now $30 a month,
But
and it
bless
was $20.
GameStop for posting saying they will still sell $20 gift cards for the pass, saying that they wouldn't increase their prices. Big rare W coming from GameStop.
Yeah, and then also I've been reading up, so this is false, but there has been talks about it. They're thinking of removing Xbox from stores due to people just like not buying them.
Wow.
Seriously.
Really? Is it because
Well,
of the
what
increased pricing?
the increase of price has gone up. And also now PlayStation is talking about increasing the price of their PS6, which they're planning on releasing, I believe, in 2 years, which
Really?
is insane. Makes me feel old because I
What are
remember when people were fighting tooth and nail to grab it.
what are we gonna get? Last of Us Part 2, remastered of the remastered Part 2?
I saw this guy on Instagram. I think his name is Jacob Weebly or something like that. And they were like, he was like talking to, or maybe not. I might be getting this confused, but he was talking about, they were talking about all of these PlayStation games, like Bloodborne 2 and all these different games that they're like, you know what we should make? Lego Last of Us Part 2 remastered. And they're like, and we didn't even make an original version. So why we made the remastered version? Who cares? And
Who
it's just
cares? People
like
will buy it.
they really do not care. Especially no Bloodborne, just like really crappy service. So yeah, you have either the crappy services of PlayStation, you have the overpriced slop of Xbox, or you have Nintendo who really does not care about the customer. Pokemon Legends ZA.
Yeah. Oh, ZA. That's a topic for another day.
Yeah,
Oof.
I think that's going to be also part of which we could kind of segue into this for the outro. What we're going to be talking about next week, kind of putting together some stuff. We're going to be talking about Nintendo's greed with its prices and also Pokemon
I think
ZA.
Not Pokemon Greed, Nintendo Greed is the main reason why everyone's increasing their prices. But that's just a theory of mine.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that. We're going to be talking about One Punch Man. Maybe get caught up to My Hero in time because it got a 9.7 on a recent
Yeah, on it,
episode, which is
episode
insane.
2, 9.7.
We'll catch you up on Brent's talking about how he's watching One Piece and I don't know. We'll see from there. Also, join our Discord.
Yes, join our
give
Discord
us some things
for
we need to talk about,
latest
and we'll answer
news
your
and latest
questions.
podcasts release.
Also, if you want to team up, do a partnership, let us know. We're down for whatever. If you just need a shout out, you need some help, let us know. We're literally glad to do that. We're in this business to learn about other people and just really just enjoy our time here.
Yep, of course. Always happy to help out family. But yeah, I think that sums it up for today for our first episode. Is there a specific name you want to call this episode, Bear?
The beginning,
The
in the
beginning.
beginning, in the
Oh,
beginning.
all right, kicking it off hard and strong, huh?
All right.
All
But
right,
yeah, it's just been a kind of like a short intro, so we do
yep,
have more in store for the future.
of
And if you
course.
enjoy it, share us. I mean, we love to talk. More people makes this experience more fun.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Couldn't agree more with you.
All right, guys, we're gonna be heading off. Stay safe and God bless.
You as well.
All
Stay
right,
safe,
peace.
everyone. Bye bye.